We salute Bhagavan Sri Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, the, uh, the darling and sweetheart of Mother Devaki, and the Guru of the entire universe. We salute that Bhagavan Sri Krishna again and again. Oh, peace, peace, peace be unto us all. Today is a very auspicious day. First of all, today is the birthday of Bhagavan Sri Chaitanya, the embodiment of love, incarnate, how the love of Krishna and Radha, the supreme pure love, was manifested in the life of Sri Chaitanya himself. The unique bhakti movement of Bengal was started because of him. In the time period when Sri Chaitanya was born, Bengal's condition was very difficult, different and difficult. Because of Islamic ruling, you cannot chant any name of God anywhere outside, and it is a severe punishment was there. They used to pay some taxes because being not Muslim, but any belonging to Hindus. So that was a very terrible period. And Sri Bhagavan Sri Chaitanya, born as Nimai, he was exceedingly charming and darling boy, young age, and was a little naughty also, but was very intelligent and talented. And he was so great in argument, he had learned that other scholars were scared of him when they used to see him from a distance because of his extraordinary knowledge and wisdom and intelligence. He used to conquer the opponent party easily. And then a transformation came into him, and he totally lost, become egoless, and day and night crying for the Lord, like Ramakrishna did for. And it's the uniqueness of Sri Chaitanya is that he used to live in the three states. It is Ramakrishna said. One is Vaishyadasa, external state, living like as we are, but they are also totally merged into God consciousness, talking about God, listening to God. Antardasa, mind withdrawn inwardly, and he is totally there but not there, and going into ultimate state of samadhi. That was like Ramakrishna going into samadhi, you can find. And he used to cry, and then he used to totally get lost. And he used to enthuse people wherever he used to be there. This extraordinary love for God was like a contagious thing, and that is to inspire others to be God intoxicated. And whole movement of Bhakti movement, as I have said, which is now ISKCON, is a part of that. The origin of that is from Bhagavan Sri Chaitanya. And this is also another way, it's called the Dol Purnima, the day when Krishna, it is related to the story of Krishna and Radha throwing color to each other, meaning this color of the heart is thrown to you, and your heart should be colored in each other, and then all in the union of oneness. Actually, that's the Dol Jatra, and that is very great festivity all over India. And they throw color to each other, thinking that how to feel that oneness with each other. and God's color. The heart should be filled with God's color. That was the this. So this today is a very auspicious day from that perspective, and we are reading Bhagavad, the story of Krishna, which was the favorite thing for Sri Chaitanya to get absorbed into God interpretation. Now we come back to our reading in the Bhagavad. This is we are in the book number 3, chapter 25, and we read up to 24th verse. And here this we are reading that Kapila, the God, God himself incarnated in the form of a saintly person who is called Kapil, a boy with Devahuti, the mother. And his father was Kardam, the sage Kardama. Now, when he was born, but he is not an ordinary son, he is God, like an incarnation of God. And he established the philosophy, which is called Kapila, Sankhya philosophy, Kapila Sankhya. Mother could recognize that the Lord has come down in the form of his son as Kapila. And Kapila now advised his mother is forgetting her relationship, earthly relationship. She asked Kapila that you, the Lord, have come down, please teach me how to overcome, how to get over the obstacles of being in the world and away from God, how we can be united in God. As Ramakrishna said in the Gospel of Ramakrishna, we find that only the greatest and easiest means of God realization is sadhu sangha, holy company, holy company. That Kapila advised mother that you want to cross the ocean of this samsara, this world of suffering and pain, then you do sadhu sangha, holy company. Now the question comes, who is sadhu? We are reading that we started reading from verse number 20. And read 4 verses, 24. Today we'll start from 25, page 257 of the book. So, who is a true sadhu? Say Kapila, his answer is being given by Kapila. The wise say that intense attachment to the objects of the world is the cause of bondage for the soul. We are bound in the worldly affairs because we are attached to the worldly things. Because we get the suffering, because we feel it is real, that we feel the consequences of its being giving me the suffering or pleasure or pain. So all the dualities which bother us. So because of that. But at the same time, the same attachment which I have for the worldly thing is directed towards the holy man opens the gate of liberation. Not God. God, if you can, you are a higher person. But if you not, at least you find a holy person who is pure in heart and who is dedicated to God. If you fall in love with that holy man, then like Ramana Maharshi, like so many saints and sages in Christianity, in Islam, and in Hinduism, of course, Buddhism. So whenever you can think of some holy person, is tangible, is much absorbed, and then he describes what is a holy man. Who is a holy man? A holy man is one who is patient in all circumstances, who is full of fellow feeling. So to see how many qualities they are talking about. If those qualities manifest in one person, then you know he is a holy person. First, he says that he's patient in all circumstances. So we get disturbed. Little thing happens, whatever happens for the moment, and we get disturbed. Disturbance will be there also in their mind, but they settle down within split second. That's the greatness of the holy man. How quickly the situation will agitate someone. It's a physical something, physical action and reaction. Someone throws some, say, um, something on your face, your eyes will close, and if it enters into your eyes, you'll be burning. It will happen for holy man, unholy man, everyone. But how quickly one will feel it in the body, not me. That is his holiness. So how he will be not reacting. So that is the first point, quality. Who is full of fellow feeling, who loves other and feels for the other. There are people, very rare people in the world. They talk big things, but they don't feel for others. No. You know, who feels for others is a sign of his holiness. God is always giving and feeling and thinking for the good of all. No? Holy people always think of good of all, blessings for all. Even suffering themselves, they take out the sin of others, they suffer themselves and give solace to others. Who is friend of all? That means we have our choice of friendship who matches with my feeling and emotions, a friend, or my way of looking at the world. No. One politician, common subjects should be there to love each other. Another politician, they may find joy and friendship. uh, but who loves all, whether he is a good guy, bad guy, but he looks all like a friend, ignoring the negative side. Not that there is no negative, but he does not focus. Who looks upon none as enemy. If something comes, they say, oh, God is there also. Only is covered with a darker cloud. That's the difference between a holy and unholy. Inner light is the same, external covering is darker or brighter. No? Who is overflowing with peace? That's the point. You go and before him, you'll find that he is established in peace or he's containing more peaceful mood rather than us. So he is who has virtue alone as his ornament. He is not a gold or jewel in the body, but he has the ornament of virtue, good virtues, honesty, truthfulness, all these virtues. Who has a deep rooted love for me, God. He loves God and God. Deep rooted love. It's not superficial. Whatever situation comes, he goes back to God for every solution. Characterized by a sense of inseparable intimacy. God is me, my own, and God is in my heart. He is my heart and soul and everything, and I belong to Him. He belongs to me. This intimacy. Intimacy, extreme intimacy, is a holiness, one who realizes God. Because there is no intimacy, love unites, no? A devotee loving God, the mind becomes tuned to God consciousness and close, close, close. When that small distinction goes there, I and thou and I become one. That Rumi, the mystic poet, Sufi mystic, his story is there. The beloved came and they said, who are you? Knocking at the door, who are you? I. The door didn't open. Then he said, who are you? It is me. There is no opening. Like that. And when he said, thou, I am thou. There is love, the distinction between the lover and the beloved reduces, and become one. That is called the Vedanta, unity, that oneness with Brahman. That happens in Bhakti language. But the bhakta, the devotee, and the Lord, the distinction erases zero. He works solely for my sake. The sadhu will be working not for others' pleasure, not for thinking that I am pleasing this guy, he is my boss. External world, that maybe someone will tell me to do something. But I am doing only God. God is telling me to do this work. I am doing to satisfy, to please God, not work. That work has become worship. So that will be the another sign of a holy man. So not one side developed, 1% maybe you can find one expression, but it should be so many things manifest and a unique character of love, dedication, sacrifice, feeling of oneness with God. And so he works solely for my sake and abandon all dependence on relative and clansmen, preferring to depend solely on me. We depend on what? Whenever any trouble comes, we go to our friend. No? Oh, could you please help me? Anyone in any problem, we go to the lawyer. Can you help me? We go to the bank and to give me loan. I take surrender here and there and there and there. But real sadhu will depend on the God. Though they may have some external way of acting, but they internally know whatever help comes, it comes from God. And they rely on God more than their own friend, their own mom, dad, brother, sister, and everything. They rely on God. He always hears and speaks of my sanctifying deeds and excellences. That what will be the tendency of a sadhu? Sadhu will talk about God and think about God and go to a place wherever anyone is talking about God. That is the tendency. If you don't find arch, and Bhagavatam also says what you call the Bhakti Sutra of Narada says now. That Sravanam, listening to Lord's message, or where there is a Sankirtan, Kirtan, glorification of the God's name going on, that sadhu will go there. Ramakrishna is going to run it. He is himself the avatar of Varishta. Huh? He is going to Calcutta and taking help of others. Oh, what he is asking Mathur, Mathur, will you take me? I hear that man is a holy man and he does take the Bhagavan, God's name. How they call upon God, can you take me? So he is asking others to take him to a place where there are people are calling upon God or talking about God. No? He went to Brahmo Samaj, you find. That is that they have their service, like in the form of a church. When they are present there, and he went and saw that how they are talking about God. And there, when he is adding, he likes that. No one invites, uninvited he enters and gets insulted. But he goes there. This is the sadhu. Sadhu's heart. Okay, oh, who is talking? Oh, this man is talking. They don't think who is talking, but what is talking. He's talking about God. That's enough. It matters little who is speaking. Hmm? So that type of idea will become manifest in the sadhu. His mind being fully given over me, no affliction ever affects or troubles him. Any trouble comes, I see really overjoyed someone saying that these are opportunities in the Sunday class after question answer session. Someone is telling the suffering which I got is bad, but that's great lesson, and I am God's grace. Holy Mother said that any difficulties come for others difficulty, we will rather curse God. Why God is so? What is the justice in God's word? And they see it in different way. They see that it's God's grace because he sees the unreality of the world, unreal, and a frustration with the friendship, with all this world, what can give? They say it is all meaningless. No one is there when I am in real difficulty. Uh, They take it as an opportunity rather than an obstacle to spirituality. Beautiful. So that is the sadhu-like character. Not that he should be a monk. He should not have to be. This is the characteristic of a sadhu. So many wonderful. But the heart is leaning towards God and God. An opportunity, then when the trouble comes, he thinks that it's an opportunity to call upon God. Look at our life. When difficulty comes, that is the time we call upon God many times. And the days are very sweet and very happy and dancing and singing. People are coming, friendship is going on. I have money and people are around me, ha ha ha, ha hoo, hoo, going on. And when my troubled time period comes, all leave. Even your greatest friends will leave. They never will look at you and I'll never ask you. So they know that this is the thing. So where shall I go now? Who will be my refuge? Who can look at me? Huh? When Rama Vivekananda was lost his father and such a rich person in the richest of Calcutta, one of the richest person in Calcutta was his father, his palatial house. And when father passed away in such a terrible condition, all the relatives went on taking opportunity of the home to possess the home and went to court. His father, you owed me so much money, so you cannot give your property, give the house. And he was ousted from home, his own ancestral home, and went to his mother's cottage, mother's place. No, and mother was, and how much suffering. Who was there? Swami Vivekananda said, days were there when and I used to move and all will flock around me. Oh, Noren, he smiles so good. Oh, Noren, you are so good, oh, so great, and you are beautiful, you are this and that. And when he is not having one day, maybe he has not eaten anything, whole day he didn't get a square, even square meal. No one inquired about it. He's taking, when hunger, to fulfill the hunger, he's filling with faucet water, the roadside faucet water. He fainted one day out of hunger and the. So this is who was there. Then Ramakrishna came, God, and that is the point. The holy people takes these are opportunities to go to God. Anyhow, so such person who are without attachment to anything except me, they are the real sadhus. It is desirable to seek their company. Oh, because they are the veritable destroyers of all worldly attachments. This they say the sadhu, Ramakrishna said, sadhu is like some people get intoxicated. In India, every country, people get intoxicated. They drink and get intoxicated. So some people say that how to remove the intoxication. They have some countryside simple method. They will put the rice water and mix the rice in the water, and then water mixed with rice. That water they put it into the mouth of the person who is drunk, and it removes the intoxication, and it comes back to normal. Then I don't know whether it is still true or whatever, but that is the conventional idea. That sadhu chaldwani jal. Sadhu, holy man, is like a water to remove the intoxication of world and worldliness. Because their presence, they think of God. When we go in their presence, for the moment we forget God, forget everything but God. That means our mind attracts us. When we see a holy man smiling, cheerful, full in his own satisfaction, that gives a connection. That is the sadhu. How is he like that? Because he loves God. So, what we have to do? We have to go to holy company. Ramakrishna, repeated advice. Sadhu Sangho, Sadhu Sangho, holy company, holy company. Gospel, turn pages after pages, you will find many suggestions. But it's others are difficult. Do pranayama, do yoga, to Vedanta analysis may be difficult, but you say that, but you don't really feel anything. But sadhu sangha, you get the instant benefit. Other benefits are maybe in future. You will analyze now. World is unreal, Brahman alone. But you see the world. World is world. When you do, but hunger comes with hunger in the body. It is true. Theoretically, it is all in mental level you are doing. But practice, you go to a sadhu, instantly mind is uplifted. Instantly you see the wonderful qualities that has been manifested in his life. And that will impact our mind. And that is the benefit. So he says, oh, mother, please go to a holy company. In the 25th verse, we start today. In the intimate company of such holy men, you will hear accounts of my glories and glorious deeds, which form a veritable draught of ambrosia to the ear and the heart. That means perching heart and the sadhu's presence and intimate company will be, you hear that they will be talking about God, the pure, the stainless, who is God, is nothing but joy and bliss. So you hear about him and your ears will be satisfied, your heart will be soothed. By drinking this ambrosia, you will soon develop one after another. What will come in your life? Faith in the path of devotion, delight in God, and deep love for Him. Three things. Shraddha, Rati, and Bhakti. The technical term. Three things will, you go to a holy man, gradually, unconsciously, you will develop these three qualities. Shraddha. Shraddha means faith in God. If you see a holy man, he has nothing, he does not depend on anything but God. Your faith comes. How the man lives like that? There is God. Shraddha, faith in God. And you also feel, I can also then try as the holy man has done in his life. Shraddha means love for God, love for yourself. Respect for God, faith in God, and faith in yourself. This Shraddha has these two times. So three things will develop. You go to holy company. Shraddha, that's faith, God is there. Ours are not stable. But seeing a holy man, because of their intoxication, God intoxication, faith will come. How they are cheerful. They are not external position, they are not getting good food, they are not having exterior comforts. Maybe they are in a bare body, smearing ashes in the cold area. They are so happy, so cheerful, face beaming with joy. There are, I went on in the Himalayas and saw some sadhus like that. So just in our order, there are many, but we had the opportunity to be there in Uttarkasi sometime in Himalayas. And then we went to see sadhus. He is in severe cold. He's wearing nothing, smearing the body. But how peaceful, joyful, cheerful face, beaming. So it develops in us, Shraddha. God is there. This man is the testimony. And then what makes him happy? What makes him cheerful and peaceful? So calm and serene in the odd external conditions. And he's not begging money, he's not going for anything, no enjoyment, no fun. Wow. How this joy is beaming through their faces. That's one point. So, Roti, the delight in God. You ask them any spiritual question, their face will be sparkling with joy more. They're talking about God, they feel excited. Hmm. As someone talks about his beloved, no? You ask about it, a mother, you ask about the child, mother's face will be beaming with joy. You praise the baby, mom will be very happy. No? So if someone speaks about God, so delight, he will find that he is delighted in God. And third point is that he is deep love for him, which is called bhakti. By the power of devotion, consisting in the constant remembrance of my excellences manifested through my creative and redemptive activities, man gains detachment from the world, all worldly objects, becomes enthusiastic in spiritual practice. So, seeing that type of devotion manifested in someone, a holy man, what happens? The powers of devotion which is inherent in us, that kindles up. And it manifests through my creative redemption of activities. Then we try to hear about the glories. As we read Ramakrishna, we want to hear about his life. And as we go to the life, we get astounded. Oh my God, what God intoxication? Day and night crying for Ma, Ma, Ma. You are here, give me your darshan, give me your darshan, rubbing his face on the sandy bed of the Ganga. Sun, another day, sun is just setting on the western horizon. Ma, this whole day today is gone, and I have not realized you. Huh? This intoxication for God, and when we hear this, we feel something. Oh, what are you doing here? No, their act, their life, their incidents of life inspires us. That's why excellence is manifest to my creative and redemptive action. Redemptive action is touching people, taking away their sin, and they are getting ecstasy. Go to Girish Ghosh, the greatest example. Forget about how many came to Ramakrishna in this room. Day and night, there is a mart of joy is going on. His room is small room. And in that room, how many people from Calcutta coming morning till night? And he said, no privacy. We say privacy. Bedroom. This is the meeting room. This is the bathroom. This is this nothing, only one room. And the bed is there. People are sitting, he is lying down and sleeping. And a few minutes, 5, 10 minutes, he says. And no privacy. Talking about God, 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 day and night, and singing and dancing and giving, and people are charmed with that. They're getting elevated. So redemptive power. So through my redemptive activities, man gains detachment. Listening and seeing those people, people pause a moment and think, then they did feel. Why Ramakrishna's every time? Don't get attached. And love God, God realization, the goal of life. So that type of detachment from the worldly objects and become enthusiastic, then people get inspired to do spiritual practice. Huh? If you see some good sadhu, then seeing him, you will feel, oh, let me go and sit sometime, do little meditation, do little prayer. No, that inspiration comes from them and strives to adhere to the bhakti disciplines, which are natural and therefore easy to practice. Bhakti means devotion, is in everyone's heart. We love, we want to love, we love, we want to be loved, we want to love. This is our human nature. So this loving God becomes spontaneous and easy when we see a holy man manifest. It is not words, it is only theoretical talks. And one can give a big talk on bhakti yoga, but maybe dry within inside. So bhakti is such a thing, your heart will be saturated with that. You will feel like what to say. In language it cannot be expressed. So, but it can be generated by the contact of holy man, by avoidance of sense enjoyments, by knowledge augmented by renunciation, and by communion with me, the Lord. Through loving devotion, man can attain to me, the indwelling spirit of all, even in this life on earth. One can really get the all few characteristics will develop what? Avoidance of the sense enjoyment means less attachment to the world and sensory experiences. I have seen enough, I've done enough. This does not please no more. Chaitanya Dev's birthday. He has a prayer. Na dhanam, na janam, na kovitam, kamayaham. I don't care for money, dhana, jana, people, and I am followers, entourage. I don't want any more worldly pleasure. I only want your loving presence to feel in them. I want you only. Sri Chaitanya's prayer is six Sahastakam. There are 8 verses there. We chant every day, chant the name of the Lord, is the translation of that. But Sanskrit is much more profound. There it says that no jana, no jana, no covid, kamayaham. Hmm. So I want that that will mind holy man's. There is a story, holy man's story. If we go so detailed, then we cannot progress anyway. So holy man story is that there was a great sage, saint. He was doing who is the name I forgot. That he was doing his spiritual practice. But the landlord was very jealous of him because many people love and respect him and goes to that holy man and uh, so with love, reverence, and he is a landlord and he does not get that reputation. So he becomes jealous. So he wanted to just see that okay, it's a fake holy man. So she sent some prostitute to divert the mind of this holy man. And the lady came, Ramdas or some of the Chaitanya disciple, I forgot. Then the lady came, and as soon as she came, and she was doing the rosary, japa. Then he said, she wanted to say something or to show something of her body and thing. But he said, let me finish. So he's doing japa. And 1 hour gone, 2 hours gone. And they said, so he could not stop his rosary and went on whole. And then the night was over. And then that lady uh, felt frustrated and went back. And then he reported to the landlord that he is a holy man. He has no attraction for anything. He's not interested at all. See, he started doing japa the whole night. I could not do anything. He said, first let me finish my japa. And his japa never finished. He continued. So one day, and the second day also, again, the landlord threatened him. "Ah, you cannot just take care of this one guy who is doing one job. Go. Next day she came and she was doing like that. And ultimately, third day also, he always says, I am doing job. I am not yet finished. The touch of the holiness, third day, she transformed her totally and said, I am leaving this cottage. Now she said, give me shelter at your feet. I like to lead a life. I lead the ugly life. And where is the joy? And you are so happy with your Lord's name. Teach me. And then he taught her the Nam, God Lord's name, and left. And she became a saint, that lady. So these are the example of transformation. The holy man can transform us. And its impact is tremendous if the genuine holiness is there. Yeah. Yeah, Nadanam, Najanam, Sundarim, Kavitam, Va, Jagat Isha, Kamai, O Jagat Isha, O Lord of the universe, I don't desire for Dhanam, money, Janam, people, and Sundaram Kavitam, a lovely spouse, Mama Janmani Janmani. Yeah, I want only beg from you that Janmani, not only in this life, if I have to born again in another life, in that life also Janmani Bhagavatam Bhakti, let him have devotion, Bhakti, let me have Bhakti. What type of Bhakti? All way to go. which will not ask for anything else. Oh, no cause. Why I love you? There is no cause. I love because I love you. I don't want to gain anything. There is another verse. Aslisva pada pilastu. It will be in this Siksha Stakam. That whether you keep me under your loving care or you put me and thrust me under your feet, you are my beloved Lord, and I am nobody else. So this is the intense love and that develops in the heart. By avoiding the sense objects, enjoyment, one point, by knowledge augmented by renunciation, this attachment is due to renunciation of the sensate experiences because these are all limited. And mind will be totally. See, the same thing is happening for a monk. We say monk is the monk. Monk is no great. Anyone can be a monk. Internally, detachment, attachment to God, detachment to the object. That is the sign. And Bhakti also says he will feel least interested in the worldly thing and will be interested in the joy of God, the indwelling spirit in all. And even in this, so in this very life, one can attain that spirit. Now, Devahuti again said, the mother, again mother talking to Kopila. Kopila was giving advice this much, that mother you do holy company. That was the advice. Now Devahuti, the mother is again putting the question, what is the nature of true devotion? You are talking about devotion. What is the nature of real devotion? Because we see what is the devotion we know. In temple we go with in Hindu temple we go, people carry some fruits and candies and this and that as an offering, incense as an offering. That is a devotion. People go and pray, that is a devotion. People go take it deep in the holy Ganga and do all this ritualistic thing. That's also a devotion. Normally people don't like that. You go to the church, you go anywhere, there are some certain rituals. Is that the devotion? That's why she is asking mother, what is the true devotion? What type of devotional practice suited to me? Okay, there are so many ways you may say, but what suits to me? Like a student asking the teacher, tell me what I should do. There's your general instruction, but what is for me? You have anything to say? Which will enable to attain to your state of nirvana. Nirvana is the language of Buddhism. They're using in the bhakti. I will attain that state of nirvana. That's why people fight. They are not actually spiritual people. They only intellectually they're fighting to put their supremacy over other. But practicing this, they're using the same state of nirvana what Buddhism is talking. And it is not point is that how I shall be freed from all these other things and get established into the eternal bliss. That is Vedanta, eternal bliss. It is God. Language are only different. O embodiment of nirvana. Oh Kapila, you are the embodiment of freedom and wisdom. No. That yoga which you did preach with yourself as your subject, of what description is it and what constitutes its auxiliaries? What are the main teaching you have already told about bhakti? What is the main principle and its auxiliary constituents? By your grace, do expound to me this difficult yoga in a way that even I can easily grasp the meaning of it. Then the narrator was in between. Maitreya says, he said, thus learning his mother's desire and prompted by love for her, who gave birth to his body, Kopila revealed the principles of the philosophy of Shankar and also of Bhakti and the science of concentration that forms their backbone. So, see, here is the harmony of all the yogas. So, what he taught, see, hearing that mother, is desirous of learning what is bhakti, prompted by the love for her who has given birth to the body. So, Ramakrishna also. is to go to serve his own mother. So this mother asking me about spiritual question, so seeing that, Kopilo then revealed. What he revealed? The principles of the philosophy of Shankha. That's where Shankha philosophy is the Kopil is the originator of the philosophy of Shankha, the greatest psychologist of the world who has given the Sankhya philosophy. And it is still now from time on that is constituted Vedanta philosophy. So it is the foundation of Vedanta. And philosophy of Shankar and also bhakti and the science of concentration, how to concentrate the mind. Then we see he's talking about bhakti, jnana, and meditation. Bhakti, jnana, dhyana. Dhyana, jnana, dhyana. So this, he is an embodiment of Kopilo, the teacher, the child gave this to the mother. Kopilo then said, Kopilo, when all the powers of man's senses, which are ordinarily frittered away through external contacts, are purified through devotional practices and dedicated action, and they get a naturally focus on Ishvara exclusively, without any extraneous and self-centered motivation, and with a firmness which no obstruction can overpower. That state of mind is called bhakti. We take bhakti so easy, no? But to see the definition, when all the powers of man's senses, powers of senses, our senses, power of senses, five senses. Look at that whole morning till now, that energy of seeing is frittered away. Seeing this, seeing that, seeing that, seeing that. All the external things which are mortal, which are subject to decay. Huh? Eyes are hearing so many sound, meaningless talks. No? How much we hear about really genuine spiritual talks, which enriches us. So normally it is frittered away. Our energies are frittered away. All the five senses, its corresponding objects are there. They're all frittered away in this way. Are purified. They are purified. It is God's glory. To the tree, look at the tree, it is the shining nature, is God shining through that. Then your energy which is spirited, you are directing towards God, seeing something God, hearing something God, taking prasad, the tongue, it's not the food. Fragrance, it is the Lord's the perfume offered to the Lord. To connect your all sense subjects with God. Purified, it will be purified. And through the devotional practice, it will not happen unless you have a prayer to, or your heart loves God and tries to find God everywhere. Then, and dedicated action, whole day what you do. It is not work, it is not job, but it is dedicated service to God. I am blessed. I could serve God this much. So dedicated action, as a result, they get naturally focused on Ishvara. If all the senses are connected with the sense objects, which are really fitted away for every one of us day and night, a bhakta will generate that it is I. Yaha yaha netra pare, taha taha Krishna spure. Wherever you behold anything, you are awakening of the name of Lord Narayana or Krishna will be awakened in you. We see the matter only. You will see the divine only. How will you see? Unless you love God who is divine, who is everywhere. To see God like that, that is fundamental sadhana of bhakti. So you should be purified by bhakti. People talk about Vedantic truth, they are ultimately true. But they should be, background should be prepared from this level. That bhakti practice, trying to see the divine in everywhere. I may fail, I don't see, but this may be an imagination for me. But that is the starting point. We'll have to start there. Then he said, without any extraneous and self-centered motivation. I try to see God, I try to love God, not for any extraneous purpose, to get money, to cure the diseased body. These are also good. Bhakta can do that. But higher thing, I don't want anything, but I want you. So that exclusive. And it's a firmness which has no abstraction can overpower. That state of mind is called bhakti. Your mind will be steady on that. That is the devotion is called that. That is it. That's so devotion definition is very deep one. That the filtering energy, which are five senses, every day is lost into vain. It is not bringing any peace and joy in the heart. That will be stopped. And instead, the eyes will see God, ear will hear, and our every five senses will bring the sensation. Rabindranath Tagore has a beautiful song. That song, চিত্ত আমার যখন যেথায় রবে ধরা যেন দেয় সে তোমার ডাকে ও লর্ড চিত্ত means my mind যখন যেথায় রবে will be wherever it may be in whatever time let it be so aware that you can respond to your call. Here is God, here is God. You are everywhere. My heart should be so pure to respond to your call. You are standing before me. I don't recognize you. You are in every beauty. You are in every smile. You are in every thing which is manifested in the universe. So when my mind will be tuned, that is the thing called bhakti. And that bhakti, form of devotion of the Lord, such devotion is superior to mukti. Mukti means liberation. Liberation means not to be born again. But Bhakta does not want mukti. Bhakta does not want total liberation. I merge with God, finish. I touch, I love God, and then again come out. And again, intense love. It's called anxiety, separation anxiety. In the worldly language. That is more enjoying the bliss. No? If you go and merge into the samadhi, boom, you're done. But again coming back to the body and craving for that joy, it becomes intense. Radharani used to do like that, Ramakrishna used to do like that. Coming down, again going up and intoxicated in that mood. After a long time enjoying that, again coming down. No? That is the mukti is permanent. Liberation means union with the divine. And Bhakta does not. Ramakrishna said, I want to be sugar. Not to be sugar, but to taste the sugar. So that is the Bhakta. Bhakta wants to taste the joy of God every moment, every moment. His whole body will be thrilled with joy. Every pore of the body will be standing erect, haripulation all over the body, out of joy and bliss. It burns up the covering of ignorance in a person just as a fire burns up objects put into it. This bhakti generates in one. All the negativities from the life will be just burnt out. Like a fire burns all impurities of the object. No? You put a say aluminium, what is called? Bauxite, aluminium oxide, which is underground, and you have to make it a pure aluminium you want to separate out. What you do? You put in the blast furnace, the high temperature, and what happens? It takes out the dross. What remains? Remains the pure aluminium. So pure aluminium, that's why burning, bhakta has to go through burning. The piece of what is the alloy, mixed aluminium, alloy to remove, you have to burn it. So the bhakta goes through so much of crying and opening and suffering and this and that, apparently to purify. That's why bhakta takes it. It's an opportunity. when it comes in life. So it fire burns up the objects put into it. So it will be when bhakti will be that covering the ignorance which we are covered, it will burn up. Some endowed with such bhakti do not aspire for moksha. They don't care for moksha. Or even oneness with my being. That means I am one with I am Brahman. They don't like it, as Ramakrishna said. For their delight consisting in serving me and in working out my will, not in becoming one with me. They therefore congregate together and honor me by adoration and participation in my work. So therefore these bhaktas, they don't want to be united, but they want to be rejoicing in my name, singing in my name, dance in my name. These such holy persons perceive and engage themselves in loving conversation with my enthralling spiritual emanation, which possesses beaming countenance and lotus-like eyes and having the power to grant all that devotion may them. So they will be talking about me. They will be rejoicing in my name. They will be finding enormous joy in sharing those ideas. As Ramakrishna said, as a hemp smoker finds great friendship with another hemp smoker, so similarly, Bhakta, finding another Bhakta, will be so happy that I can talk about God. No? Suppose you are in your plane and you find suddenly on a co-passenger and he suddenly come to know that he loves your philosophy. Vedanta society, not Vedanta society, even in any, how you feel close in that strange environment. So that they become like that. When they get intoxicated, they only talk about God, only like friends. I finish this because this it will take long. No question afterwards. 36 verses. Through their mind, though their minds are thus captivated by me, by and absorbing me in my enchanting formless aspect, with its charming and sublime features, movements, smile, looks, and speech. Their devotion leads them in the end to liberation, though they themselves do not care for it. They will ultimately, Bhakta will merge into oneness, Aham Brahmasmi. They will reach the same conclusion, Ramakrishna said. You will be sucked into that love. Then you will, the drop of water will merge into the ocean. What the drop will do? He is now one with the ocean. There is no way it will be one. But this tremendous attachment, tremendous love, thinking of his glory, thinking of his holiness, he's talking to the devotees day and night. That is the means of bhakti. And they will gain all these higher qualities of absolute non-dual experiences. But the bhakta does not want that. See how Ramakrishna says and the Bhagavatam is saying the same thing. In my supreme heavenly abode of Vaikuntha, they become the inheritors of the divine powers and bliss that reside in me. They become like equally that in them my glory manifests. No? They go into the after death, remain in another plane, higher plane. The Lord of me reside in me, that power which reside in me, in spite of their having no longing for any of this. They don't care for these powers and things, but it will go unconditionally in them because they think of me, they get my glory. As we think, so we become. The eightfold powers are all the glories of the higher world. Siddhi, eightfold occult powers, they can get easily. They can do miracles in the world, no? But they don't care for those things, but it will come to them. You don't care, but it comes to you. That's why it is said, what you renounce, that thing runs after you. Mhm. Those devotees who consider me, capital, their nearest and dearest, their soul, their son, companion, teacher, friend, chosen deity, remains deathless in their abode of peace. For unwinking time, my weapon of universal destruction has no sway over them. Everyone dies, but they will not be dead. They will be amara, eternal. The glorification of the bhakti. Devotees who give up 39. Devotees who give up desires for this world and the next world, for the subtle body that links one's life in those two spheres, as well as for the physical body which is associated with wealth, relative home, etc. in this life, and love and service me, the all pervading being, with unswerving devotion, are surely released by me from the involvement in the cycle of birth and death. If they are born again, they will be born as a bhakta, as a devotee, from the very childhood. The glory, what is his name? Prahlada. Prahlada was very born with that type. We have seen many sadhus in their childhood days onward, they are always thinking of God, talking about God, running for the sadhus. Even very small boys running after the sadhus. In India, we hear about many of our sadhus whose life is, because they're in previous life, they have done so much maybe bhakti, they're born into that environment. 41. Except for me, capital. Here, me means always God, the Lord, the Absolute, the Lord of nature and of individual souls, the inner pervading spirit in all, and the Supreme Person endowed with every blessed attribute. No one can get relief from the great fear of death that beset all involved in the cycle of birth and death. Everyone will be under the cycle of birth and death, but these devotees will be eternally free. Even if they born, they will be born free. For out of fear of me, capital, all nature moves. I am the Lord of the creation. In my fear, the sun, moon, stars goes in the order. No? How everyone is rotating in the world. How the cosmic order is going on. Whose control? And we know, even to do some little organized work, we cannot do. How much energy is needed in this? So the Lord God who has created this cosmic universe, everything is in order. See, sun is rising, sun is rotating, earth is going on, the galaxies are moving, and this and that, day coming, night coming, rain coming, hot coming, so. I mean, who is doing all these things? Well, I was with the doctor, eye doctor today, and he was saying, see, asked him, I do not know, Baba, you're finding so much inside the eye, this one, that one, that one. Who has created this? The only one eye department, and he is talking about to the lenses and doing this and testing this and finding that and this and Baba, eye pressure. Eye pressure. Who is maintaining the eye pressure? Are you doing anything for your eye pressure? So who is doing? Who is the planner? So it is very difficult to understand that cosmic power. No, that's why I say the classes of that the whole world is rotating, but who is bhakta is free from all entanglements. For out of fear of me, all nature is moving. The wind blows, the sun shines, the Indra rains, the fire burns, death consumes all. By devotion supported by knowledge and renunciation. This is the point. Devotion, not simple dancing, not simply just going to the temple and church and saying, ha ha, oh Lord, 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 and or talking about daily in worldly talk and becoming spiritual. No such humbug. So it is by devotion, which is be supported by knowledge. Jnanapat. Bhakti should be surrounded. Jnana Mishra Bhakti. Bhakti should be infused with jnana, the knowledge. And renunciation. That renunciation, jnana should be detachment. What is the use of jnana? All God is the reality, everything is unreal, and I am steeped into the unreality. So now, knowledge and renunciation, spiritual aspirants attain to mind glory, which are heaven where fear is unknown. Man attains to the highest he can in life when he gains one pointed and unswerving devotion to me, when his mind becomes unperturbed by anything because of his total self surrender. So, only if you surrender to me and think of me, that devotion can help one to cross all the sufferings of life. And the greatest of that is the fear. So, devotion's glory, how to attain devotion, we have heard. Next day, we'll start the chapter 26 when the Gopila this son, child of Mother Devavati, is giving the advice how the 24 principles, what are the principles of the world, those things we shall read on starting from 260 page. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tatsat Sri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. Okay, a few minutes per question. In Srimad Bhagavatam, we read that we should want only pure devotional service to the Lord. So then, do we simply trust that our needs will be taken care of by God? So we need not worry. Yes, God, if really one totally surrenders himself, God takes care of everything. Uh, just look at I give the normal example, sadhu, sadhu, holy man we are talking about. Holy man in India, maybe million holy men. Huh? Or not that all are not maybe into the highest category of realization. But what? See, who is feeding them every day? Are we sending some money? Or they have any trust account? Or they have any trust? What is the source of their getting in piece of cloth? What is the everyday meal? Who takes care of them when they are sick? Who is that? Who organizes that? So yes, but that is a very high state. We need not have to think that God will take care of me. In the Bhagavad Gita, he says, if anyone takes surrender to me, I shall meet his earthly need, whatever he needs, and whatever he has, I protect that, and whatever he needs, I supply that. That is the Bhagavad Gita says. The Krishna Bhagavan saying the same in the Bhagavad Gita. So, but that is a very high state. But now what we should do? We should make a compromise. God has given me certain intelligence. I will exercise those intelligence to earn my bread and things, and rest of the time I will serve Him as a service. Or the work I am doing, I am serving God with this attitude. Let us be bhakta. And bhakti will saturate and mature in a place where we need not have to worry anything. God will take care of everything. They will send people from unknown sources. There are many stories I cannot say because already time is up. But there are stories in the Himalayas. Many of our sadhus tested, and not that big guys tested, but ordinary sadhus, like our friends, and they were in the deep forest, and they're thinking, okay, Thakur is there. Let me see. Where, son? I have not eaten the whole day is gone, no food. Let me see if Thakur brings some food here, then I will understand he is there. Oh my God! At odd hours, huh? And somebody comes out of nowhere in the middle in a forest and brings some delicious food. And he said he was dreaming, he was sleeping, but his Lord Rama says, "Hey, my bhakta is waiting there. Go, bring some food for her." And he slept again. Again, the Lord came into the dream and said, "Hey, get out, my bhakta." And third time when he got the whatever food he has collected and took it, and he saw that sadhu is there. No? So who organized his food? With our effort? So no. But that's a great higher state. But in our state, we should have to exhaust our energy first with a proper attitude that I am not working for any, I am not a slave. I am a slave of God and God only. And I am serving Him and I am blessed, I serve, and the result comes whatever. And then gradually, mind will be purified. Then you will see everything needed in life, God sends in time. It is an experience of any holy man, whether a monk or a devotee. Now, another question, according to Lord Chaitanya's disciple Rupa Goswami, the neophyte devotees first practices Vaidhi sadhana. Over time, with persistent, sincere effort, raganuga, spontaneous sadhana bhakti ripens. Does the devotee's teacher assign particular disciplines angas based on the need of the individual? It's a good question. You have given the response. We start with the regulatory disciplines. Ah, you have to get up in the morning, regulatory. You have to take a shower before you come. You feel fresh with a washed clothes. Then you offer incense and put a lamp. These are all preparatory. It's not necessary. There's nothing to do with God. But it is all leading you to feel that I'm pure, I'm pure, I'm going to think of God, so I'm becoming pure, purified and purified. So these are regulatory bhakti. You have to do the puja. We do the regulatory bhakti. To do first item this, second item that, third item this, sprinkle water this way. Ah, so you can do all these things, but it will turn into Vaidhi Bhakti regulatory sadhana. In over time, with the sincere effort, it turns into little love grows for God. And if you don't do that in the morning, suppose you are not getting a chance, you got engaged in something else, then you feel, oh, I'm not going to the temple. Huh? Even you don't meditate, but you feel something as if you're lacking something. You're feeling something off. So this will turn into a devotion. Raganuga. Raga means love has generated for God. Huh? I do not actually have practiced maybe with that intention, or I forgot the intention. I was engaged in rubbing the sandal paste. Huh? Do you do when you are rubbing the sandal paste? I'm thinking God, 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 God. And maybe not. Maybe the tongue may say the mantra, but mind was somewhere. But this regulatory devotion leading to the devotion which is called the say Vaidhi Bhakti, Raganuga Bhakti. And Raganuga is that becomes spontaneous Bhakti. Uh, your love for God goes gradually. It is a matured state from that regulatory stage to this stage. And does the devotee?
Vaidhi Bhakti and Raganuga Bhakti. And the Vaidhi Bhakti is the professionalism and Raganuga Bhakti is the devotion.
Yeah, professionalism, no, we are not professional. We want to grow in love for what you call the Raganuga as a stage.
No, but
Stage
Vaidhi
one to stage two.
Vaidhi Bhakti can be like that, right?
And that can be, yeah, I do priestly job. People may do some priestly job. Devotee can also do the priestly job for earning money. But there may be only priest can do because I get money that I do that.
Professional.
Yeah, that is the professionalism we are talking about. But anyhow, we are talking about devotees who want to love God. So loving God may start with the rituals and forms, but it should end in real, genuine love of oneness with God. And third prashna, is there any difference between Sangha and Sadhu Sangha? No. Sadhu Sangha, what is the difference between Sat Sangha and Sadhu Sangha? Sadhu is when holy. Sangha means association. Holy association. So it may be a person, that's great if you get such a holy person. If not, holy books, holy singing, holy chanting, holy image, meditating on that. These are called Sat Sangha. Sat means sadhu. Sadhu means who is Sat.
Satchidananda.
Sadhu is whose heart and soul has gone to God. Sangha, association. If you associate such holy men we talked about, then it is equal to association with God. Because you are associating with someone who is becoming like God one, like God. Characteristics, all the good characteristics of it. So yeah, the two words are the same, meaning the same truth. Okay, thank you all.
There are more questions.
Okay, does the bhakta stay separated, tasting sugar only while they keep their physical body? I'm not sure. I understand if ever after they pass, do they go to an eternal heaven serving the Lord? No. Does the bhakta stay separated They try to stay separated with much effort. They said, I want to love you, I want to serve you. So, keeping that type of desire, they keep themselves a little away from merging. In the merge, they cannot do anything. Look at that. I told the story of Mary and Martha. When Mary is tuned to Christ, he cannot do anything. Dysfunctional. Absorbing Christ and the Martha and Mary. And Martha doing what? He's doing for what? Whom? For the Lord. For the Lord's work. So work is possible to keep little separation. But ultimately, the bhakta tries to stay separate and to taste the sugar only while they keep their physical body. Yes. But after that, if they wish, they can continue another birth, another birth. That's why Bhagavad says, even they're given freedom, total, they don't like it. They want to enjoy that way. That's why they go to, we call Ramakrishna Loka, Vaikuntha Loka, Krishna Loka, Christ Loka. Loka means a plane, in a higher altitude plane, no? Mind lives in different strata of development and in a level where he lives with God only. Just to think that if a person sitting in Hollywood or in Switzerland or in India or in any part of the world creates an atmosphere in his mind that he is living with, say, Ramakrishna, Ramakrishna's room, Ramakrishna's association, day and night, singing, dancing, going on, in that mental plane. He will be a crazy guy in our eyes, but he lives in that awareness. It's called the Ramakrishna Loka. Someone is living Shiva, 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 and living in that Shiva consciousness day and night. He will be Shiva. After death, where will you go? He will live in that consciousness.
This is the concept of eternal heaven.
And that's it too low. We are not talking about, yeah, there is no eternal hell. But because this is also not permanent, this loka will be there for some time. But that will, as he said, it will suck. Ramakrishna said, a needle and a big magnet. How long the needle will be away? So long dust and dirt is around the needle. And when it's clean, it will be sucked into it. So it will be sucked into the infinity. That reality. You have no power there. Yeah. But though they must try. So I'm not sure understand. So probably this is the point that bhakta stays separate, tasting sugar only when they keep in their physical body. When they lose their physical body, they can stay in their subtle body. Because that is also still another level of existence. We dream. At the dream time, do we not have another existence? So in that like pure dream, that's why in sometimes pure dream we call, oh mother came in my dream and gave me this mantra. Many people talk about that. So where it happens? You are lying down in the physical world, no? In your bed. And but mentally you are his mother. So that is all the visions are like that. So that will be after death also they can stay there if they wish. And according to their satisfaction, they all may merge into that whenever they like. So they may come back again as a bhakta with this feeling, or they may be totally merged into samadhi and come back occasionally like we find in the great people.
Like Sri Ramakrishna said that he will be born again and all his Sri Ramakrishna disciples will be coming with him.
Not with that type of thing. Sri Ramakrishna said that he will be born to, it's for will of the Lord. This type of pure people, if they survive for the good of the world by God's will. Like Swami Vivekananda. He was meditating in the plane of high level where the gods and goddesses cannot enter in that level of non-dual. But he is still there. And Ramakrishna went and catch him. Come back. Do my good work here. So he came back for the doing good. See, these are the level they live for the will of God, not merged totally. But to remain in a loka, in a plane, much higher plane, where only divinity and purity is there. Okay, another question. Can you talk about the true way to surrender to Him? There is true way means surrender. How can I talk about surrender? Surrender means surrender. We do whatever I have done. Suppose I have done. I have talked 1 hour. I say, I have talked. But what we say now? Om Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. I offer it at the feet of Ramakrishna. I say that. Every day I say that. It should be the constant saying, Oh Lord, I offer it to you. Oh Lord, I offer it to you. That means you get connected with the Lord and everything is an offering. Surrender, surrender, surrender. So it is to be practiced that anything you are doing not by your own power, it is God's power. This dead body, this dead engine cannot do anything. So long the consciousness is behind, we are jumping, and hand is jumping, mouth is speaking, eyes are looking, ears are hearing. These are all instruments only. Only the power is God. So if I surrender to that all the time, then we become an embodiment of surrender. Then who will take care? He will take care. He is taking care of now also. We do not know only. I think I am doing, I am talking, I am reading. So this is anyhow. Thank you all for joining, and we are too late to discuss questions. I will see you again at 7:30 with our gospel reading. No,
Shanti
no.
Gita.
Oh, Shanti Gita. Today is not Shanti Gita. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. আমি করছি